Hello, 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 and welcome to the Healing Collective Live. And I have with me today my friend and co host, Jennifer Johnson. Hello, Jennifer.
Hey.
Jennifer is the co host of this series that we have about menopause and sex called Icy Hot Pleasures. And it's not just about menopause and sex, it's about menopause and life.
I'm excited about this conversation because, growing up, we really didn't hear much about menopause or perimenopause or hysterectomy and how your body feels, how your mind feels, and how you feel sexually afterwards. So I'm like, yeah, let's
Yes.
dive in. Let's talk
Let's
about it.
dive in. Like Jennifer said, we didn't. I don't even remember hearing the word menopause with my with my mom or my aunts. I don't think it came up. And I don't even remember seeing it advertised on TV as
No,
much.
no.
No.
The most I heard was, oh, the flashes, the hot flashes.
Yes, yes,
But
and I
other
saw the
than,
fans. I saw
right.
I saw this. That's about
Right.
it.
But
But
that's it. Yeah.
mhm, mhm,
Yeah, but before we talk about the menopause, I wanted
uh,
to talk
mhm.
about hysterectomy. I am not a medical professional, so I'm just going off what I know and what I've been through. So
Right,
let me put
right.
that out there first.
Okay, that
So
disclaimer we got to put it
yeah,
out.
you got to put that out there. But no, I did have a hysterectomy, and I guess I had what you call a partial hysterectomy, because I still have my ovaries.
Okay,
So I did have a partial, and then a full hysterectomy is where they take the uterus, the ovaries, like all of the female organs. Um, so I think I kind of lucked out in that way that it didn't push me into menopause, because you hear a lot of people who say after they have their hysterectomy, they just go full blown into
mhm, mhm.
menopause. So I'm gradually getting there. I consider myself the peri menopause. Um,
Okay, okay.
but yeah, I had my hysterectomy about 4 years ago. Yeah, about four
Mm.
years ago. And I was very nervous, because, again, you don't hear many people talk about hysterectomy, how you feel afterwards. And it was very important for me afterwards that I was still able to enjoy sex the way that I did previously. Like, that was like, if I can't, then I don't
Then
want
I
it.
don't want it.
But I had to do my own research because, like I said, people didn't talk about it. Well, in my circle, in my family, or whatever. Um, but I did come across a couple of videos on YouTube. Wasn't a lot, but it was very helpful for me to hear other women, especially women who look like me, explain, their process and their healing process, and what they went through afterwards. So for me, afterwards, I guess it's the libido was low, so my desire for sex was just like gone, and that was different for me. And I know my husband struggled with that, because it's like, okay, you ain't got no period no more, so you know, but right, right.
It's open season.
Right, that's probably what he was
Every
thinking.
day,
But
all
me,
day.
I'm like, it's just not there. But I say it took me a good 6 to 9 months to come out of that. And now that desire is like on fire. Like, I don't know if it's the perimenopause, I don't know if it's my age, I don't know what it is, but that has heightened, which I'm glad. Um but yeah, and then also I did do some research, and like when I was watching some of the videos, I was hearing the lady say, well, and I had some notes here because I wanted to make sure, um, I gave the right information. So, when you're having sex and the semen, it's like, okay, you don't have a uterus anymore. So where does that semen go? Right?
Okay.
So with my research I did, it says that there's no uterus to travel into for the semen to travel into, so it simply stays in the vaginal canal. And then the gravity and normal vaginal muscle movement causes it to leak back out over time. So that was a different
Okay.
sensation that I experienced,
Mm.
with sex and the gravity, I guess, what they said. Yeah. And I'm glad that I did hear that from another female. Wasn't expecting to experience it, but when it happened, I was like, okay, this is what that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you mentioned about the hysterectomy and what you had heard, and what I had heard about the hysterectomy is the conversation with my aunt. You can tell that she was hurt because she was after hers. She was like talking about my uncle, and she said that his comment was, I ain't hitting on nothing down there now.
Wow.
It for right. So it was a very insensitive comment, but basically he was saying that there was a bottomless pit. So he didn't. I guess it was too loose or too open or
Yeah.
too whatever it was. She mentioned how that was his comment, and during that time they didn't talk much about how it made her feel. Like, she didn't mention how it made her feel, but I could tell even as a
Yeah.
child or a younger teenager, because that's when she was telling the story. When I was a teenager, I could tell that she was offended by that. She was offended by the insensitive comment that my uncle had made. But I said all of this to say, I wonder, or do you think your heightened sexual feelings had anything to do with your spouse? Like, maybe because he was into it, or no. I
Mm,
don't know. You tell me.
I don't think so because he's always into it. So that he didn't change. I don't know what it was, but it changed. It changed.
Okay, so during the phase with entering the perimenopause, I know, just speaking for me, I think it increased, like my sexual desire
Yeah.
increased, because it was so many different changes happening, not just in my body but around me. So the sexual desire increased, but my outlook or how I viewed my life also changed. So I was more open to certain things.
Yeah.
I was more open to using certain things. And so I guess in walks the pleasure products,
Yeah.
the
Hey.
sex toys.
Yes.
Because I became more open to those things, where before it was, in my mind, it was like taboo. Can't do this, can't touch that, can't, that's against God. But as I entered into this menopause phase, not only was it more freeing, but my body, like I said last night, it was more of a bloom because my surroundings were changing.
Yeah.
My connections started to change. So yeah, the idea of using a sex toy, it became possible. It became something that it was like, okay, I can do this. And yeah, that doesn't mean I'm going to hell, because
Hello.
but before, you said, oh,
I said hello.
right, right,
Like I
right.
said last night, they always say God is watching. Well, hey,
Yes,
yeah,
yes, he's watching
and he
everything
knows.
and everyone,
Yeah.
according to some people.
Yeah,
Yes.
right, right. So, yeah.
So the changes in your body, the changes in your mind, it's just been changes, period, with this menopause. Um Even changes in the fluids that are produced. What about for you? Is it a desert down there, or is it a WAP?
She said, "Oh wow."
Yes. I had to
Um,
learn what that meant. Someone was saying it, and I was like, a WAP? A WAP? Yeah, I know, sheltered, right? And then they told me, that stands for wet ass pussy. I was like, oh, oh, okay.
yeah, yeah. So I did experience some dryness,
Okay.
but it's still WAP. Like,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I still have the lubrication or whatever
Mm-hmm.
the term is. So that I haven't had an issue with that.
If you're in menopause and you're going through, you just don't need to use lube just for sex. Lube actually can be like a moisturizer,
Yeah,
period.
keep it moisturized. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like you
It's
do the
like
rest of your body.
keep it moist.
Dick. There you go.
Keep the lips above and the lips below moisturized.
That's
There's no
right.
shame to that. And I
Yep.
think these type of conversations, they need to happen more often,
Yes.
where people say, hey, what are you doing? I'm
Yep.
moisturizing the top lips and the bottom lips.
That's right.
That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's needed sometimes. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Now, what about the brain fog? We talked a little bit about that last night, the brain fog. Even doing the podcast, I need the notes now. I have to have something. Like I told you once before, I prefer in hand, but it's more convenient to have it on a digital copy. But it's like I need it, because if not, I go off track, or I wonder. I was talking to someone yesterday, and I said something, and I thought, what the hell? Why am I bringing up something? For real. So the brain fog is real. The changes in the body during this menopausal phase is also real. You mentioned how you're not into jeans anymore.
Yes.
And
it's like the feeling against my body. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, you're not into jeans. I'm not into bras. Jennifer, I am serious. It's like, okay, I know for some, I grew up where that was considered, like, I guess what some would have said, a loose woman to be walking around with no bra on, and I'm just keep it real, and the titties just slinging. But this age and stage,
you don't care.
The bra thing, yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I do not care. Like, so what? So you see, okay, yeah, they hanging low, yes, but that's all right. I'm comfortable.
That's right. That's right. Yes. And like, I used to like underwire bras. I can't do it anymore.
Yes.
I can't.
Yes.
I had to throw them all away and go get me some new ones. Like, I need the bras to be as light feeling as possible. And then I also like the camis, the cami shirts, the thin strap ones that have the kind of bra thing in it. Instead of wearing a bra. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I say with those, they always make it look like a tube.
Yeah.
But I know what you're saying. I wear them anyway, because the underwire, yeah. If I can be real, I don't know if I really ever liked bras. I remember when I worked as a teacher or worked as a dean, man, the moment my car hit the driveway to the house, Jennifer, it's coming off.
Coming off. Yes.
Yes, a friend of mine used to say, yeah, because she knew, and she would be laughing, like, oh, yeah, you got your bra? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't make it to the door.
Yeah. It's just so uncomfortable. Yeah.
So learning to appreciate, I guess, the body now is what I am talking about. What I'm getting at, that I appreciate my body now, that I appreciate the stretch marks now, the extra layer, and it's okay. I'm not so, what's the word? I'm not so focused on trying to look a certain way because I'm trying to be accepted by a certain group of people. Mm-hmm.
That part. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm definitely with you on that. But with the body now, I don't know if it's with age or if it's with the perimenopause, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
really focused on the eating healthy and the moving my
Mm-hmm.
body. And I've noticed
Mm-hmm.
that that has helped. I know we talked about before about the aches and pains. So,
Right.
you know, trying to move my body more, even though that's still painful sometimes,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
keeping it real.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you know, I still push myself to be active during the week. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's very important. I learned that what we call our brain, that it actually can change. It can change by us doing thinking new thoughts,
Hmm.
thinking a different way. Because I think so very often we get in that habit of thinking the same way and we do the same thing. But like how you just mentioned about the exercise, if you're not an exercise person and then you start to exercise, that's you thinking a new thought, you think in a different way, and then your body begins to change accordingly. So
Yep.
I think that's interesting, and that's what happened with me in terms of the menopause and the use of the toys. I began to think a different way. And because I began to think a different way, my behavior began to change.
Right. Yeah. 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 And I think, and I hope all women can feel there's nothing wrong with that. Loving on your body and touching your body and feeling what makes you feel good and then sharing that with your partner, you know? Or bring the toys in with the partner. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, you know?
The scripture that talked about I can't remember the character's name, but in the Bible, the person who spilled his seed instead of impregnating his brother's wife like he was
Mm.
supposed to,
Mm.
because of the laws that they had at the time. His brother had died, so he was supposed to connect with the wife and continue the family line, basically. But instead of him doing that, he spilled his seed on the ground. And so in the church world, that has been used to say that masturbation is wrong. It's not of God and if I remember the story correctly, he died and talked about God killed him because of what he did. I also grew up hearing that it would lead to a man not being able to get it up later because they
Wow.
have masturbated so
Wow.
often in their youth. Right,
Yeah.
right. So it's amazing how we have these thoughts that we pass down, these to do's and what not to do that are just in error. And masturbation, I think, is one of them. I think that is not something that I think it's between the person and their God, to sum
Exactly.
it up. At
Yeah.
the end of the day, it's between the person and their God, or just the person, period.
Yeah. And I think a lot from the Bible has been misinterpreted.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I
Of
know we
course.
had a conversation on our live
Mm-hmm.
with someone who came on um, and was talking about how most men are not in tune with their body that way, which was
Mm-hmm.
shocking, you know,
Right,
that
right.
most women pleasure themselves than men do, you know.
Mm.
And I
I
was like,
was, I
wow, that's
was,
interesting.
yes. I thought when he said that, I thought that was interesting too, to hear that women are masturbating more.
Right.
I said I was going to do some research because I was like, women masturbate more? Hmm.
Yeah, maybe we
And
could
then
do another episode and bring some facts or bring some people in here to talk
I
more
would
about it
like,
cuz I'm
yes,
interested, yeah, to hear
yes.
that.
Mm-hmm. And you
Mhm.
know what, Jennifer? I thought about maybe that could be the case because, women don't get very fulfilled during their sexual. Yeah, one of the reasons why I wanted to add sex therapy onto my license is because that came up a lot in the church culture, they felt more like a receptacle versus a partner. I even remember hearing, I don't know if it was my aunt or some older woman that was she was saying, yeah, he'll be done in a few minutes. Like it ain't gonna take long. He'll be in and out.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So maybe because he was in and out, maybe they had to
Finish it off.
yeah, finish it
Had
off.
to finish it off. Yeah.
Finish themselves.
Yeah, and that's, we talked about that too. Like, do men go through something at this age? I really think they do. I would like to get more information and talk more about that too. Like, we go through the perimenopause and the menopause. What do the men go through? It has to be something. I know I hear things about their mental. I hear things about their sexual, like you just mentioned. He in and out, not able to perform. Like, yeah. I want to know.
The sexual pleasure and all of that sometimes so focused on men. You look at TV shows and you see the women being objectified, and and it's usually all about the men. They got half clad women walking around and looking whatever, and it's almost as if the focus is on the man having their release. But there's some studies out there that shows that there's some benefits, especially for the women. That orgasm, that feeling, that release that you get when you orgasm, it is actually healthy. And when you don't get it, when he is just in and out, it actually it's a detriment to your body. It's a detriment to your thinking. Yeah. When that's all you all are just a receptacle for the man or a toy. When you are used as the sex toy. Yeah.
That's why you hear some people, when different females have bad attitudes, oh, she need her back blown out. Like, maybe she
need a release, like yesterday.
Yeah.
She is too angry. But that is some truth to that. I really, I believe that. That all that pent up, tight,
frustration.
Stress, frustration, that's the word. All of that pent up, tight frustration, it comes out in other ways. Usually the person is bitter, they clawing, they're so yeah. Ladies, have an orgasm, even if it's by yourself.
That's right.
It probably will help you.
Yeah, no, it will help you.
Jennifer said it will help you.
It will help you. Yeah. Yes. The effects of perimenopause, menopause, and this gray divorce era when it comes to the emotions.
We talked about the gray divorce.
I've been seeing a lot that correlates to two, because we're going through this emotional change with the menopause, which does something with how we relate to our emotions and our significant others, our spouses or whatever, and it changes the way we feel or the way we look at things now. The correlation between perimenopause, menopause, and the gray divorce. How we're seeing in this age how a lot of women are leaving long-term relationship marriages, and what does that have to do with the mental that we go through as it relates to perimenopause, menopause, that affects that.
Okay. Wow. Do you think it has like detrimental effects? Or do you think it's brought on the gray divorce that's occurring? And, I can talk about that because that's exactly what's happening with me. But I don't know if it was associated with the menopause, or was it brought on by the menopause? I don't know.
Yeah, I read something about it, that there's a correlation because of the mental stuff you're going through.
And maybe it is. Now that you mention it, maybe it is. Like I feel like the series I just did about the awakening. I feel like I'm awakening to certain things, and that life that I had and the partner that I was with, it no longer fits. It
Yeah.
just, and for me to continue doing what I was doing would mean that I don't bloom, that I stay in this cloistered type of environment that for my mental health was just not good. Yeah, it was just not good for me mentally. Um, and when your mental is off, it affects your body as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and because the hormones are changing, it's like we can't really tolerate, I guess that's the right word, what we previously tolerated in our relationships and in our marriages. So it's
I
like,
think that was perfectly said.
yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So we get to that point where it's like, listen, I'm woke
Mm-hmm,
and I'm
mm-hmm,
out.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know?
And that pretty much sums it up, Jennifer.
Yeah.
If I can keep it real with you, that pretty much sums it. I'm woke. I have woke up to some
Yeah.
things, and I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
This is, maybe you wake up, we can have a conversation, but I know that's not what you're gonna do. That's not what you're
Right.
because you're comfortable.
Right.
Usually, people don't wake up when they're comfortable. It's only when something happens either in them or outside of them that makes them feel uncomfortable, that they say, you know what, I got to change, I got to wake up.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's unfortunate that maybe it's not unfortunate that when you are going through these changes and you're realizing these things and you voice them to your partner, and it's like, I'm bringing these things to your attention to let you know that this is what I'm feeling, what I'm experiencing, and the things that I need to change in my life. And the partner is just like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, so it's like if the partner can be more understanding and receptive of that, then maybe marriages won't end. Like I saw a video, I don't know, it was on Instagram or YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, and it was an older lady, older guy, and I believe she was celebrating a birthday, and
Mm-hmm.
the husband or the ex-husband was there, and he did a speech like, he regret, not growing up and not being emotionally available, and yeah, and he apologized, and he was like, but I want my wife back, and it's like, well, why you gotta wait all these years to figure it out and know that you want your wife when she was, I'm pretty sure, trying to explain that to you before she walked out the door,
You know what, I wonder if he wanted his wife back, or did he want the 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 woman that he married back?
Right, that part.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Do you want a wife who has matured and grown up too, and have been growing up, and now sees the world in a totally different view and sees herself in a totally different way as well?
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's what, because usually men go into marriages thinking that women are not going to change, and women go in thinking that, oh, he has the potential to change.
Right.
He
Yeah.
will be, he's gonna do, or I'll help. And the number of women I've even heard use that term about how I'm gonna groom him and shape him and I'll clean him up type of thing.
No, it don't work
No,
that way.
right. No, it doesn't.
You setting
No.
yourself up for that one. Setting
Yes.
yourself up for the okey doke. Like,
Yes.
it's not gonna
Every
work.
time.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
Mm-mm. Now, I looked at the benefits of orgasms, Jennifer.
Mm-hmm.
And it says here, it does release stress. It is a stress reduction. It's also a pain reliever with the headaches and cramps. It
Mm-hmm.
helps improve sleep. I know that to be true. It helps the mood enhancement. And it boosts your immune function. It helps with better heart health. Uh, and get this, the potential anti-aging effects of the hormone release also is a benefit of orgasm. So
Okay.
now that made me think those young spry looking 70s
They getting it in.
they getting it
They
in.
getting it in. And I would like to have a
We got to
conversation with
find
them
those.
too.
I'm going to
Yes.
find one. We going to find one.
Yeah. I would
Yes.
love to have a conversation with a 70, 75, 70-ish. Yeah, let us know.
It's an anti-aging benefit to having an orgasm.
Okay.
Wow.
I didn't
You
know
want
that
to stay
either.
young and beautiful.
Get that on.
Have some, yeah.
Get that on.
Get a release.
Yeah.
You want to have, because it says it helps with the skin because it can boost collagen.
Okay.
So yes, and if you don't have a partner, then you probably need to use the toys.
Yes. And there's nothing wrong with that either.
Nothing at all.
And if you don't have a toy, use your hand.
Yes. Make sure the hands are clean though.
Yes. That part.
We're laughing, Jennifer, but I think sometimes people need to be told certain things.
Yeah. Yeah.
They need to be told to even. I think about how the doctors used to perform surgery without washing their hands.
Mm-hmm.
They had to be told to, wash your hands before you digging in somebody's open wound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And some people, they have to be told that when they at a gathering, wash your hands before you go and dig in the food.
That's right.
Wash your hands. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
Learning to communicate with my partner, learning to not just with my partner, to tell people what it is that I want and to tell people what it is that I need, to find my voice and have it be loud enough to be heard. And I think that is also true during menopause and when we are engaging in sex. I saw a clip, and it was one of those reality shows where the lady was saying, I don't want to have to tell him how to love me. And I thought, and she may have not said this verbatim, but the fact that she was talking about she's not going to communicate with her partner on how she wants to be loved sexually. Yes. I thought, that's a fairy tale romance type of situation where the man comes in and sweeps you off your feet and he knows all the buttons to touch and he knows how to make you feel good and make you pop. That's actually not realistic because you know your body, or you should know your body better than your partner, better than your husband, your spouse, your significant other, whatever. So to communicate with them and tell them what it is that you want, I think it's important to know how to do that and not assume that that person will know how to touch you in the right places. The zones that make you just, they don't know it, but you do. So I think it's very important to communicate with your partner about what it is that you want or what it is that makes you feel good.
Yeah, I agree. I really never thought about having those conversations. I guess I probably had that same mindset that, the woman did on the show. But I realized as I got older, things were changing and didn't feel the same to me. So it's like, if I don't express those things, he's going to keep doing them and I don't like it. And then that's going to make things bad. So you got to let them know, ain't nothing wrong with saying, oh, baby, that feels good. Right. I like when you do this, that's simple, and like I said, we change, we grow, things feel different, things stop feeling the same. And I think that's an issue in marriage that, some women have that mentality that men can read your mind.
A good lover will know. No,
that is not
he
the
does
case.
not.
Just like you don't know. So you want him to express the same thing to you, if something changes or if something feels good or if something doesn't feel good. Let me know so I can either stop or I could do it more.
Right.
Like communication. We need to communicate with each other. That's how we grow together. You know, I remember when I introduced sex toys into our relationship, into our marriage, and it was ironic because my coworker at the time was doing one of them sex toys parties. She was like, "Hey, you should come to this party," and I'm like, "I ain't never been to nothing like this before." She was like, "No, just come out." I was like, "Okay." So I went and I got a couple of things and they came and I showed my husband and he was like, "Okay, we can try," and we enjoyed it. So again, have those discussions. Hey babe, I want to try this. Why don't we bring this into, play or. And there's some other things that I'm looking out there. I'm about to have a conversation with my husband about. Like, look, we need
Okay.
to bring this.
Okay.
We getting older. Our bodies can't maneuver the way it used to. Let's get these pillows.
Can't swing. Yeah, can't swing from the chandeliers. Yeah.
Right, right. So it's like, yeah, and I think when you can have those conversations, that does something too. And, spices thing up a little bit because it lets your partner know, hey, I still want you. I still want to have this, I have this desire for you. Keep that going, you know? Yeah.
That I like that. Even more so as we've reached this age of menopause where we have found our voice.
Yes, that is for sure. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad. I'm so glad. It feels so good to know you have a voice and you can use it. You
Yes.
know? Yeah.
Yes. Jennifer, talk about your book.
Yeah. So, if you follow me on TikTok, I am very transparent about my mental health, about my marriage, and also with searching and scrolling through social media, I've seen so many posts about women my age who are have adult children who are leaving home. They've been in long-term relationship or marriages, and it's like they're really trying to figure out, like, who am I in this season? What do I want? Who am I when nobody's calling me mom or wife or the employee? And I myself experienced that. So that is where this book, I Choose Me, was birthed from, and it's a story of the main character, Alex, who is navigating what it's like to choose herself in the season. And like I said, I've seen so many stories of women trying to navigate that, and I think that this is so relatable. And I can't wait. I can't wait until it comes out in spring.
I'm looking forward to the book coming out as well, Jennifer, because the topics that you just hit on, the finding the voice and children, it's hitting home for me. So I think it's going to be a great read. I'm looking forward to hearing more about it, and I'm looking forward to getting my signed copy
Yes,
when it
thank
comes
you.
out.